What's going on, guys, in America? These air traffic controllers are taking advantage of the situation. I'm coming in with that. I'm coming in with the opposites on the opposite side of the spectrum. When there's opportunities, there's a lot of politics going on. When there's opportunities to take advantage of, it seems that people take advantage of, and a lot of people are talking about air traffic controllers are not getting paid. They're getting paid. They're listening to this conversation, the media and everything. These people get paid. They're not getting paid right away, but they're double. It's almost like double dipping. All right, you still gonna get paid. You take sick leave, or you're getting paid off. You go and work at Uber or something. They're talking about working Uber, Lyft, or all these other programs, these apps, and you go work there while you're still getting paid and you're on sick leave. So there is some taking advantage of the system, and there is some issues with also other people that have budgetary issues. But what's your opinion? Leave a comment down. Let's get into this video. I don't agree with this. You got to take care of your job. You're an essential worker.
Last night, an air traffic control tower sat unmanned for hours at Hollywood Burbank Airport.
It doesn't make me happy.
They are, in essence, the same as firefighters, police. They're serving the public, and public lives are at stake.
Yes.
So I would rather see some resolution be reached.
They have no other way to show that it's hurting not just them, but us.
Travelers were stuck for more than 2.5 hours yesterday after the FAA closed the tower there because of a staffing shortage. Yesterday, nearly 6,000 flights were delayed, and even more are piling up this morning, with 356 delays listed already. The FAA says more than 13,000 air traffic controllers are expected to continue working through the government shutdown, but they're not getting paid, and some are starting to not show up.
Are you researching dental implants?
This is crazy. They're not showing up because of the opportunity uh, and the budget. But they know this is part of their job when they first got hired. They know this was going to happen.
Someone has to take sick leave to drive Uber to make the difference. Those are decisions they're going to make themselves, but of course that's concerning for us. I don't want them driving Uber. I don't want them finding a second job to pay the bills. I want them to get paid for the work they're doing today, keeping our planes in the air and our skies safe.
Joining us now to discuss, Harvey Skolnick. He's a former FAA air traffic controller. Good morning, Harvey. Thanks for being with us.
This is my concern. I want to catch these points right here. You see how he's like influencing people. He's not saying it, but people never thought about. Oh, I got a bunch of sick leave. I can go not work and get paid. Because what people don't realize that this pay that you're working, your work, you'll get paid. The government's still going to pay you for it. So, because you're an essential worker, so you're still employed and you take sick days off, that is still payment. So now you can go find an Uber, Lyft, or whatever, and get money on the side and not show up. People are taking advantage of this opportunity now. There's a lot of politics going on, but I hope you get air traffic controllers do not take advantage of this loophole. We need you out there. You're still going to get paid. You're not missing your money. Then they got some kind of you're gonna hear they got some kind of budget that's going to run out at the end of this month, still available for them to get funding. So they're not losing nothing. Let's don't take advantage of all this political wherewithal that's happening out here in American society. Let's take care of the American people. Stay at your jobs, do your job. Everything's going to work out. I hope you guys stay because we need the people to make it home safe out the air.
Good morning, Ari. Thanks for having me.
So I feel like I've been talking to you off and on for several months now about air traffic control, right? And the concerns that they have long had with staffing. How is this compounding, this government shutdown, compounding the problem?
Well, staffing has always been a problem with the FAA, as I've mentioned earlier. Burbank, for instance, which closed yesterday, is supposed to have 24 controllers. I think they only have 17. Of those 17, I'm not sure how many of those are fully certified, but anytime a facility is not staffed to what is preferred by the FAA normally, it has an effect on breaks. It has an effect on controllers getting time off. It has an effect on training. And the job is tough enough as it is. And when you have to work 6 days a week, and now you're not getting paid on time, so everything has a cumulative effect in the FAA.
You know, the government says that it actually met its goal of hiring some 2,000 air traffic controllers this year. According to Reuters, it plans to hire another 2,200 next year. But how do you think the government shutdown kind of complicates those goals for recruitment or even the hiring itself?
Well, as of right now, everything is as normal given this shutdown. Other shutdowns, the FAA has stopped the hiring process. They've stopped the school in Oklahoma City, and they've stopped training at the facilities. So, so far as I know, the government still has funding until the end of the month. So, if things get settled, then it won't have that much of an impact. But if we
Right there, he said a mouthful. They have the money to the end of the month. Things get settled. You guys, they don't have to be stopping. Now, why is the media paying so much attention to this, trying to make a big scene of deal with this? Okay, most of the air traffic controllers are still at work. One place in California, Burbank. These guys took advantage of the system and all called in sick. No one wanted to show up. It's like anywhere. You got people that feel like they got opportunity to take advantage of something. They might take advantage of it. It would seem like one airport that's had to close down for hours is the reason for that, and they had to redirect the flights. I was watching the media last night. Redirect the flights from another airport that had to take over that location. You know, and do what they had to do because no one wanted to come to work or whatever. But they was able to manage it, get some people down there to fulfill that tower. So there's a lot of things going on, but we are addressing it. The American people are addressing it, and this is a lot of it's politics, but this not going to throw us off. So I'm just glad people are still at work and helping families get home, get to the other areas where if they are travelers, workers, just keep the system operating well. But listen to what he said. They have funding. They got resources. Um, Only thing I didn't like what he was saying was that they work 6 hours, 6 days a week. That they gotta have time off. Unless they 6 day on, 6 day off, like the firefighters or something like that, then that's different. But if you saying they work 6 days, that's over 40 hours a week. Your mandatory is mandated how would you call that? Is mandatory time off. So many hours you can work in a day. Um, so I don't think they're going against the laws and the rules of the land to fulfill their obligations to their air traffic controllers. But there have to be some concerns with this. So my bottom line, people are still getting paid. People are still working things out. Let's don't make this a big deal and have people not want to show up to work and do Uber lifts and other things to benefit their pockets and use this as an excuse. Uh, let's focus on keeping everything as transparent and moving forward.
we do have to go to to that stage where we need to actually ask people to stay home, administrative staff and otherwise. Controllers themselves are accepted and do come to work, but if it comes to a point where people have to stay home and support services are not available, that will have an effect.
Do you think that, I'm just thinking of morale here, are air traffic controllers kind of fed up? I mean, people who are calling in, not coming in, there's been so much pressure and concerns, right, about collisions and things like that. Do you think some people are reaching their breaking point?
I think they may be. I've been talking to some of my friends, some of the people that I've trained over the years, and I've been in contact with them. They're at various facilities around the country, and they are reporting an issue with morale. And so, look, I mean, controllers back in the day, when you're required to maintain separation from other airplanes, and sometimes that separation may have been questionable, a supervisor might come over and say, did you have 3 miles there? And you say, I did. And that would be the end of it. Today, anytime there's a question, everybody with a cell phone is immediately aware of it. So you're under the gun all the time. The job is difficult enough as it is, and now you're telling people that they might not get their paycheck when it's due. So I'm sure morale is going to be affected.
It's Harvey Skolnick. Thank you so much.
But we gotta realize when you get these type of jobs, that's a part of the job. They're gonna let you know this. If there's a case of a shutdown, you still have to come to work. You're classified as an essential worker. That's probably in the system like the TSAs. This TSAs, the people that work at TSA said it's in their interview packet in their application when they get the job. If there is a shutdown or something and the government has to be shut down or whatever, you still required to come to work as an essential worker. Do you accept this position? So when you get that job, this could be a possibility. We didn't expect this to happen, but it did happen. And it's political politics that's happening at the Congress level. So this is what's going to be going on. We don't know for how long, but as we know, you just got heard. There's money to the end of this month. There's benefits. There's opportunities. Um, let's don't make it more than what it really is right now. Let's continue to keep moving forward.
The government shutdown starting to impact air travel. At least a dozen airports, including major hubs like Phoenix, Denver, Chicago, and DC, having serious staffing shortages. An air traffic control tower at Hollywood.
This is my problem. That's the staffing shortage. They're talking about all the other jobs, guys. They're talking about the people that does a roll up the like baggage claim, the people that does the wheelchairs, the working at the restaurants, uh, the janitors. All these people that's maybe not getting paid and got sent home. That is affecting the airport. These are all airport workers, and the media is classifying everybody as airport worker. The essential people you really just need at the airport, honestly, is three people: security, which you have; TSA, which is just check the luggage, make sure they're coming in; and air traffic controllers. That's all you need. The pilots and everything is a different. That's a different system. That's airplanes on airplanes. You need pilots. Let's say four pilots and stewardess. Five. Outside of all them other things, they're not required. So a lot of people are going home or get sent home because you came there to fly. All these other things are just benefits. You go to the airport, drop it off at the airport, go right there, turn your baggage claim in, turn in, go right to your airplane within an hour and a half. Get your airplane, sit down for a second minute, get signed in, plane pulls up, get on the plane sit there for 20, 30 minutes, plane pull, taxi off, and off in the air. That's all the airport is generally supposed to be. All this extra, all these restaurants, all this other stuff, is all a luxury. Remember, people used to bring to the airport food from home. They stopped all that. So all those extra jobs, extra people, and you do the TSA have them clean up the bathroom because you can focus on many areas, but just to conglomerate all this, put them all together as one group. The airport workers have a staffing problem shortage. You're making it seem like the essential places are having a major problem. They're not. We just realized what the guy just said to you. We have a rest of this month. They're cool to this month. Now they can focus on, okay, we need next two paychecks. We need to do this for the house for the following month, just in case. The longest one was 2019, 2018. 2019 was 35 days in history. So come on, man. Let's go.
Burbank Airport went unmanned for hours Monday night. Air traffic controllers, as you know, they are supposed to be working during the shutdown, but they're not being paid. Joining me now is CNN transportation analyst Mary Schiavo. She is also the former Inspector General of the Department of Transportation. Thank you. I'm so glad to see you in person. It's so nice to have you in the studio with us. But there is a lot of concern. So Monday afternoon, this control tower completely shuts down for a bit because they say that people had called in sick, the air traffic controllers. I'm just curious, what happens when suddenly a tower goes dark and you have planes in the sky and on the ground trying to take off?
Well, what happens is the pilots have to act like general aviation pilots, like pilots who fly without air traffic control, and they can do it, but you have to use a communications line that's sort of like a common chat line, and you announce your intentions and you take off just like, I do in our small planes. But it's doable, but it adds a margin of danger. It's not as safe as having full air traffic control, and statistics prove that.
No one should have to work without pay. We are now going into day 7, but they haven't been paid yet. There's a lot of confusion as to why calls out sick now when it's not like you get paid every day.
Right. Well, you get paid every 2 weeks in the federal government. There's the check goes in automatically, and this happens. When I was Inspector General, Clinton went through 2 shutdowns. One was 21 days. And what happens is people get anxious, people get nervous, and sometimes there's abuse of sick leave. And of course, I had to investigate those. People do it to take other jobs, to start looking for other jobs, just in anticipation of losing their paychecks. But in the federal government, if you're out for sick leave for more than 3 days, you have to have a doctor's note. Right. And if they're suspicious, they can require you go to the doctor. So taking sick leave when you're not sick is always a bad idea, which is why their controllers group has called for people not to abuse sick leave. Go in and do your job. You're a federal employee. For example, President Reagan had 7 shutdowns. So seasoned federal employees know about this, but it's hard.
Yeah, it's really hard for families as they're looking at, and I think you...
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space?
What's your opinion on this? What do you think it should be done? I don't think it should be a shutdown. I don't think people should go to work. Like you say, you get paid every 2 weeks.
Okay, they might have to start looking for work because the last shutdown during the last Trump administration lasted the longest ever, 35 days. A lot of concern out there. I am curious if you think that this, like has happened in the past, the air traffic control, the TSA, could force Congress, could be the driving force to get Congress to do their job. Have we seen that in the past?
Yes, we have. That what's interesting is, it's 5 or 6% of the, gross domestic product, but the confusion, the congestion, the inability to get your job done really has, and literally in the past, the shutdowns have been ended because of air traffic control and the inability to travel, because, we rely on it so much. And then there are certain areas that can only be accessed by air. Alaska will be hard hit. Alaska Airlines did say they're going to keep right on flying. And so that's good. But it is often air transportation that pushes the government back to full funding and full work.
You have been and seen everything when it comes to aviation, and through all of the shutdowns that you just mentioned. We will see what happens this time, but it is a pleasure to have you here in person, Mary.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
What's going on, guys? This is it. I'm not gonna spend that much time on this. It was enough. I think we got the ideal. There's a lot of politics going on. There's a lot of slick stuff trying to get pushed with individuals. They're telling you the money's still there. They're telling you there's a lot of information that was in here covered. So I'm gonna talk to air traffic controllers, man. Stay at your job, man. We need you in the air. We need you to make sure the American citizens are safe in this air. You're still getting paid. Hopefully, we'll find out what's happening um, with with um, this Congress, and hopefully they come together as a bipartisan and come in unison and get this passed and get back the government back open again. But you're still getting paid. Everything's moving forward in the right direction. I wish you the best. I wish you nothing but success, and don't let this system control you in a way where you feel that you have to do this to benefit your family. You're still getting your paycheck. You get paid every 2 weeks, so